Hello, I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and today I'm going to reveal information that may be compromising your health every single day without you even realizing. Did you know that after 60 years old, that simple act of reheating food in the microwave can be transforming healthy foods into real traps for your body? That's right. And the most frightening part is that you're probably doing this right now, thinking you're eating well. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you exactly which foods should never go in the microwave at this stage of life. And, more importantly, I'm going to teach you practical and safe alternatives so you can continue eating well without putting your health at risk. Let's start by understanding why this is so serious for those over 60 years old. At this phase of your life, your body goes through profound changes that many people don't take into account when preparing meals. Your metabolism no longer works at the same speed as before. Your liver and kidneys work with less efficiency to eliminate toxins, and your immune system is more vulnerable. This means that every food choice you make has a much greater impact than it did when you were younger. And I'm not just talking about what you eat, but also how you prepare and heat your food. The microwave, which seems so harmless and practical, may be silently sabotaging your health in ways you can't even imagine. Let me explain how this works. The microwave uses electromagnetic waves that agitate the water molecules inside foods, generating heat from the inside. Sounds simple and harmless, right? But here's the problem. That heating is irregular and very intense, and this can completely alter the molecular structure of certain nutrients and proteins. Compounds that should protect your heart, your brain, and your arteries transform into oxidized and inflammatory substances. Can you imagine what this means? It means that food that was supposed to nourish you is actually accelerating the aging of your cells, damaging your memory, overloading your elimination organs, and increasing inflammatory processes in your body. And since your liver and kidneys no longer eliminate toxins with the same efficiency as before, these harmful substances stay circulating in your body for much longer. Let me tell you a real story that happened in my practice. Mrs. Johnson, a 67-year-old patient, came to see me complaining of constant fatigue that wouldn't go away, completely uncontrolled high blood pressure, even while taking her medications correctly, and small memory lapses that were starting to worry her family. During our conversation, I began investigating her eating routine, and that's when I discovered something very revealing. Mrs. Johnson told me, with a smile from someone who thought she was doing everything right, that to make her life easier, she prepared food for the entire week and reheated everything in the microwave. When I asked specifically what she usually reheated, the list really worried me. Sautéed spinach, boiled eggs, rice stored for several days, chicken, all of this several times a day, every day. I looked at her and calmly explained that these foods, when reheated in the microwave this way, could be directly contributing to all those symptoms she was experiencing. You should have seen the surprised expression on her face when she said, "But doctor, I chose exactly those foods because they're healthy." And that's exactly the big trap. You choose the right foods, you care about eating vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, but when it's time to reheat, you end up destroying everything good those foods have to offer, and worse yet, creating compounds that harm you. So pay close attention now, because I'm going to reveal the 5 foods that you should never, ever reheat in the microwave after 60 years old. The first one is nitrate-rich vegetables like spinach, kale, beets, and celery. You must be thinking, but doctor, those vegetables are super healthy, and they are when consumed the right way. The problem happens when you reheat these vegetables in the microwave. The intense and irregular heat from the appliance converts the natural nitrates present in these vegetables into nitrosamines, which are highly carcinogenic compounds. Scientific studies show that nitrosamines are directly related to increased risk of stomach and esophageal cancer. And here's the crucial point. After 60 years old, your risk of developing cancer is already naturally higher due to cellular aging and the accumulation of DNA damage throughout life. So, do you really want to add another completely avoidable risk factor? The solution is simple. If you have leftover sautéed spinach or kale from lunch, eat it cold in a salad or at room temperature. The nutrients are still there, intact and ready to nourish you, without any risk. The second food you need to take out of the microwave immediately is boiled eggs. Have you done this? Cooked eggs, stored them in the fridge, and then thrown them in the microwave to heat them up quickly. Then you need to stop now. When you reheat eggs, especially in the microwave, the structure of the proteins changes completely. This makes them much harder to digest, causing gas, abdominal discomfort, and even mild food poisoning. Plus, you lose up to 40% of the B-complex vitamins present in the egg, and these vitamins are essential for maintaining your energy, balanced mood, and good memory function. After 60, when nutrient absorption is already naturally reduced, you can't afford to waste 40% of such important vitamins. If you want to eat warm eggs, the solution is simple. Prepare them fresh. It takes less than 5 minutes to make a fresh poached or scrambled egg, and you guarantee all the nutrients intact. Now, let's talk about the third food, and this one surprises many people. Rice stored for more than 24 hours. Rice is one of the most consumed foods in the world. It's present on practically everyone's table, and many people have the habit of making a large pot to last several days. The problem is that rice can contain spores of a bacterium called Bacillus cereus, and these spores survive the initial cooking. When you leave rice cooling at room temperature and then store it in the fridge carelessly, these spores transform into active bacteria. And here comes the worst part. When you reheat that rice in the microwave, the heating is uneven. Some parts get very hot and others remain cold. And this creates the perfect environment for these bacteria to produce toxins. These toxins cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, symptoms that for those over 60 can be much more serious, even leading to dehydration and hospitalization. Have you experienced this and couldn't understand what caused it? It could have been exactly the reheated rice. The solution here has 2 steps. First, as soon as the rice is ready, wait just a few minutes for the steam to subside and immediately place it in the refrigerator in a shallow container so it cools quickly. Second, when reheating, no microwave. Use the stove. Place the rice in a pot with a tablespoon of water, stir well, and let it heat over low heat. The uniform heat from the stove ensures that all the rice reaches the proper temperature, eliminating any bacteria. The fourth food on our list is chicken and processed meats. Did you know that reheating chicken in the microwave completely alters the structure of proteins? These altered proteins become extremely difficult to digest, causing that feeling of heaviness in the stomach, gas, poor nutrient absorption, and discomfort that can last for hours. Your digestive system after 60 already works slower, produces less hydrochloric acid and fewer digestive enzymes, so it simply can't handle these microwave-modified proteins well. And if you're thinking about processed meats like ham, sausages, or deli meats, the situation is even worse. These meats already contain nitrites as preservatives, and when you reheat them in the microwave, These nitrites transform into even more toxic compounds that increase inflammation in your body and overload your liver. Studies show that frequent consumption of these compounds is associated with increased risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. So how do you do it? If you want to eat warm chicken, reheat it on the stove or in the oven over low heat, covering it with a little water or vegetable broth to maintain moisture and preserve nutrients. It takes a few extra minutes, but your health is worth that extra time. And the fifth food may surprise you even more: tea and coffee, or any beverage rich in antioxidants. Did you let your green tea cool down and put it in the microwave to heat it up again? Then you should know that you just destroyed up to 70% of the polyphenols and antioxidants that protect your brain against Alzheimer's, your heart against heart attacks, and your cells against premature aging. These compounds are extremely sensitive to microwave heat, which is much more intense and concentrated than stovetop heat. Research published in the Journal of Food Science showed that reheating teas in the microwave specifically destroys catechins, which are the most potent antioxidants present in green tea. You're basically drinking colored and flavored water without any of the health benefits. The solution here is the simplest of all. If the beverage cooled down, make a fresh one, or get used to drinking it at room temperature, which keeps all the nutrients preserved. Now, you must be wondering, but doctor, then, how am I going to manage in my daily routine? I work, I have a busy schedule, I don't have time to be preparing everything fresh. I understand perfectly, and that's why I'm going to give you practical solutions that fit into your routine. For vegetables, a simple strategy is to prepare only the amount you're going to consume in that meal. If there's leftover, turn it into a cold salad for the next day, adding a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, lemon, and fresh seasonings. It's delicious and keeps all the nutrients intact. If you really need to reheat, use the stove in a double boiler. Put water in a larger pot, let it boil, lower the heat, and place your container with the vegetables inside. The gentle, indirect heat preserves much more nutrients than the microwave. For rice, create the habit of putting leftovers in shallow containers and taking them straight to the refrigerator as soon as the meal is over. When reheating, take only the portion you're going to eat, place it in a small pot with a tablespoon of water, cover, and leave on low heat, stirring occasionally. In 5 minutes, it's ready, warm, and safe. You can also add a drizzle of olive oil or ghee butter for more flavor and moisture. For meats, the same logic. Oven or stove over low heat, always with a little liquid so it doesn't dry out. You can use water, vegetable broth, or even a light homemade tomato sauce. The result is meat that's much tastier and more nutritious than that dried out and rubbery one that comes out of the microwave. For eggs, my tip is, if you like convenience, leave boiled eggs ready in the fridge, but eat them cold in salads, natural sandwiches, or chopped with avocado. If you want to eat warm eggs, dedicate 5 little minutes to prepare them fresh. A poached egg in boiling water takes 3 minutes, scrambled eggs take 2, and the taste and nutrients are incomparable. And for beverages, invest in a good thermos. Prepare your tea or coffee in the morning, put it in the thermos, and it will stay warm for hours without losing any nutrients. If it still cools down and you can't make a fresh one, drink it at room temperature. Many Eastern cultures traditionally drink green tea at room temperature precisely to preserve its benefits. Do you know what happened to Mrs. Johnson after she started following these guidelines? 3 weeks later, she came back to my office for her follow-up appointment, and the transformation was impressive. She arrived with different energy, her face more radiant, And before I even asked anything, she started talking excitedly. Dr. Emily, I didn't believe that something so simple could make such a difference. My digestion improved completely. I no longer have that heaviness in my stomach after meals. My energy came back. I'm sleeping better. And look, my blood pressure started to stabilize. She showed me the measurements she was taking at home. And indeed, the numbers were much better. Even the memory lapses had decreased, according to her and her family. And look, the only thing we changed was the way of preparing and reheating food. No crazy diet, no expensive supplements, just simple and intelligent adjustments in the kitchen. That's the great truth I want you to understand today. Small changes in your daily habits can generate profound transformations in your health, especially after 60 years old. Preserving the nutrients in foods and avoiding the formation of toxic compounds isn't being picky. It's not an exaggeration. It's an act of self-love that will be reflected in more energy to do what you enjoy, better memory to keep precious moments with those you love, calm digestion without discomfort, a stronger heart beating with more vigor, and an immune system more prepared to protect you. You need to understand that the microwave isn't your enemy. It's a useful tool for many things, but using that tool wisely is what makes all the difference between nourishing your body or silently compromising. Recent studies in the area of food safety and geriatric nutrition make it increasingly clear that the way you prepare and reheat your foods can be just as important as choosing what to eat. It's no use buying the best organic vegetables, the best proteins, the most nutritious grains, if at the time of consumption you're going to destroy everything good they have to offer. So answer me something. Are you willing to make these small adjustments to gain more quality of life? Have you noticed if you have any of those symptoms that Mrs. Johnson had that may be related to how you heat your food? Tell me in the comments. I read them all and I love knowing about your experience. And if you know someone over 60 who's always reheating food in the microwave, share this video with that person because this information can literally change their life. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and turn on the notification bell because I'm going to continue bringing information like this based on science that really makes a difference in your health. In upcoming videos, I'm going to show you how to organize your kitchen in a practical way to live longer and better, what foods boost your memory and protect your heart, and how to create a simple eating routine that fits your reality without complications. The difference between a food that truly nourishes and one that inflames your body can be in small details like the heating method, and now you have that knowledge. Use it in your favor, take care of your health intelligently, and remember, aging with health isn't luck, it's choice. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and see you soon.